Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna do a quick, maybe not so quick, Q&A. I told you guys to ask me questions on Instagram, and today I'm gonna answer all the questions I got there. I just finished my multi-engine rating, so I did my flight test 2 days ago. It was a pass. I'm really happy with it. Flying this plane is really fun. And I decided I'm gonna make detailed videos about everything you need to know for multi-engine training, especially things about the Piper Seneca. I found a lot of things about the Piper Seminole on the internet, and for the Piper Seneca it wasn't so easy. So I'm gonna do a detailed video about everything you need to know for multi-engine training. But today I decided to do a quick Q&A just to answer the questions you guys sent me. If you missed this one, make sure you follow me on Instagram so you can send me questions next time. I'm gonna try to do these things once every 2 weeks or once a month. So make sure you're there in the next one to clear your doubts as well. So I'm just gonna go over the questions you guys asked me one by one in order that I received them. I'll try to keep it short. If something needs a better explanation, maybe I'll consider doing a video about it. If not, I'm just gonna quickly go through the questions. How's the market for pilot in Canada? Comparing to other countries, I think it's really good. Canada is growing really fast. A lot of immigrants are moving here all the time. The country has a huge potential to grow more. It's really big, but it's kind of empty, so there's room for a lot of people. And the industry, the aviation industry, will grow with the rest of the country. Hey, is that a Jefferson you are holding? That map I was holding in the photo is a VNC map that we use for VFR navigations around here. I'll put a picture of the map right here so you guys can know what he's talking about. What should international students know before visiting? If by visiting you mean moving here, I think it's good for you to ask people that are already here what they think of the country as an international student and how they like it, what is good, what is bad. I watched a lot of YouTube videos about Vancouver and Canada in general. That's why I do these videos, is to show everyone how things are over here, day-to-day life, working as an international student, the pilot training itself. That's the whole reason why I created this channel, is to share with you things about the pilot training and life here as a student. I'm a 12th grade student. I want to study in Canadian Aviation College. How much does it cost? The cost for your pilot training really depends on what licenses you're getting, and I made a complete video about that. I'll link it down in the description, because it just depends on what licenses you want to get, what licenses you don't really mind. If you add in multi-IFR, if you add instructor rating, the price will go up, but then you have better chances of getting jobs and things like that. Everything is explained in detail in the video, link down in the description. You could talk about how to get float type rating. So for you to get float rating is really simple. All you need is around 7 hours of flight time, 5 dual hours, 5 takeoff and landings, a solo takeoff and landings, and 2 hours solo time. But the thing is, if you want to get a job in a float plane, you're going to need at least 50 hours for insurance purposes. No one's going to hire you if you only have 7 or 10 hours experience. So I would say at least 50 hours on the floats, then you can get jobs on the interior of BC. My housemate's going to do that. He just got his visa and he's going to start flying float. I'll try to make videos about that when he's flying. Maybe could be interesting skydive operations in summer. I would love to fly skydiving planes. My parents did skydiving, my uncle was a skydiver as well, and I've never tried. I really want to do it, but I also want to fly those guys. It would be really nice to fly with the doors open, making people jump out of the plane. That's a dream of mine someday. After CPL, what do you think to do? This guy, multi and multi-IFR. Multi is done. I'm going to start IFR next week. And after that, I'm going to do instructor rating, and I'll start working as an instructor here. Hopefully with this plane. This is the plane I learned how to fly. I made a video about this, link in the description, and also a video about this one down there, so you guys can have a look on the airplanes. What's the process like to gain employment in Canada after PGWP? So PGWP means postgraduate work permit. So after you study for a certain amount of time, you're entitled to get a work permit. With a work permit, you can work in your field for 2, maybe 3 years, depending on how long you were studying for. And after you work that long, BC will probably give you the permanent residency status here in Canada. So you can get a PR, then you can get whatever job you want. It's not a problem. Rent near Canadian Aviation College for a private room. For rent, you can expect to spend around $700, $800 for a room, for a private room around Pitt Meadows. It will get you a nice room, especially if you're sharing with other students. It shouldn't be more than that. Scope for CPL holder other than instructor in Canada. If you just have your CPL license, no experience, no time, and that's it, it's kind of hard to get a job because you're going to be competing with instructors, with people with multi-IFR. So I really recommend you at least get a multi-IFR rating or instructor rating, because only with the CPL, it might be kind of hard to find a job. If you're willing to move to another provinces, maybe to the north of Canada where they need more pilots and people are not super willing to move there. Winters are really hard and all of that, but if you want to do the move there, maybe you can find a job. Otherwise, it's really good if you get more ratings and more qualifications so you can get better jobs. Explain navigation charts. That's a bit of a long of an explanation. Maybe I'll do a video about it. Yeah, I'll probably do a video on navigation charts. Is it easy to find a flight instructor job when getting CPL? So after CPL, if you do instructor rating, it is easy to get a job. There are a lot of schools around Vancouver. A lot of the instructors, when they get enough hours, they go to the regional airlines or they move to other provinces to fly. And so there's always a demand because people with more hours are always leaving the job, so new people need to fill in those gaps. Is CFI in demand in Canada for everyone that finishes the instructor rating? I'm not sure if for everyone in Canada, but it is in demand. So hopefully as soon as I finish my training here, I already start working with the school. Normally schools, they get their own students to work as instructors because they already know them, they trust them, they see how they fly, and it's a trust, so it's a trust relationship. Fuel price in Canada. I am not sure. I'm gonna check and I'll add it here if I find it. How to choose a flight school? How to choose a flight school? He asked twice. So there's a video I made and I'll link it down below. You should find a school that's not super crowded, good fleet, good location so it's not far from practice area, good airport so it's not a crowded airport that you're gonna be on hold every time you try to fly and you cannot get circuits. And most important, know people in the flight school you're trying to choose so you can learn a little bit more about the details and the day-to-day on your flight school. And if you can visit, I know it's hard for us international students, but if you can maybe send a friend to visit or someone you trust to give you a call and see that the school is actually there and it's good, that might be a great idea. What's the best job to have as a student in Vancouver? That really depends on your qualifications. If you have none and you just want to get a part-time job, like I did when I first got here, I was doing food delivery. It is very flexible. It can be a little annoying sometimes, but you can work whenever you want and you're just by yourself listening to your music, either by bike, car, motorbike. I did all of them. And that can be a good option, especially if you just got here. Applying is very fast and you don't depend on other people. Does the school fees cover all the hours you need to get your license, or you have to rent the plane? The school fees normally include all the hours. Some school will try to trick you with cheaper prices, but they're not including fuel. Sometimes they're not including taxes. So just make sure everything's clear before you sign anything. But here with Canadian Aviation Colleges, all the prices you see in the websites already include fuel and everything. What to do after multi-IFR? How to get a job in an airline? So for an airline in Canada, you need more than just your multi-IFR rating and 250 hours. You're probably gonna need a lot more hours. So you can find other jobs that are not airlines, maybe small cargo operations like taxi, air taxi, that kind of stuff, or a flight instructor. That's up to you. There's a lot of different jobs. I'm not gonna get into detail of every single job you can do as a new pilot, but there are websites that show you a very long list of jobs you can do as a fresh pilot. Tell us about the flight instructions given in the college and about the instructors. I was really lucky with my instructors. When I first got here, my instructor was Samit. I flew with him for a couple months before he moved. And then I was flying with Sadiq for a long time. Such a great person. Sadiq is not in Canada at the moment. And right now I'm flying with our CFI, and he was the one teaching me multi and multi-IFR. And also he's gonna be the one teaching me the flight instructor course. And I really like them. The environment here is really chill. Everyone in the school is kind of friendly with each other. We're having a school barbecue today, actually. I'm gonna get some shots and I can edit in video. Maybe you guys can see the instructors. Which flying club is best for flying Canada? I've only tried Canadian Aviation College. I'm really happy with them. I don't have a lot of friends in other schools, but as far as I know, this is the best one for me because I didn't try the other one, so I'm not sure if I can help you with that. What university should I do if I want to be an airline pilot in Canada as a foreigner student? Our school has a partnership with a university like business and bachelor degrees and stuff. It's up to you if you want to do that. You can get your licenses done and then apply for a quick bachelor's degree while you work as an instructor, so you don't waste time. You can start flying right away. That might be a great option, but what you're gonna do is totally up to you. Can I get a job in Canada after completing my pilot training? Yes, especially if you're doing your instructor rating. What facility does your flying academy provide after completing flying? They can give you a job as an instructor if you are qualified for it, and you can start building your hours right here with these planes. There's a plane parking, so I'm sorry if it's loud. Can a Canadian trained pilot directly apply to US major airlines? So with a Canadian license, especially if you have the ATPL license here, or in the US, it's really easy to transfer them. You know, you just need to do a written exam, if I'm not wrong, and then you can get the license from the US. And if you're from the US and you have the FAA license, it's really easy to get the Transport Canada license. So jumping around between these two countries is really easy, especially in aviation. If you have any status in the US, or if you can get a visa, or if you have the passport, yeah, it's not hard to make the move. You still need to do some paperwork, but it's not hard. When will you fly to Bangkok, Thailand? Hopefully soon. I really miss Bangkok and I would love to go back. What's a dual engine? This guy, you see? 1, 2. This plane right here is a single engine Cessna. This is a Piper Seneca. It's a multi-engine plane. It has 2, so it's a dual engine. Is it possible to fly twice a day, at least 2 or 3 times a week to speed up the training? Yes, that's not a problem. There's a girl here, she's flying twice a day, sometimes 5 times per week. So yeah, you can fly as much as you want / can without rushing too much. It's very good if you can take your time to absorb everything you're learning. You don't want to get ahead of yourself while flying, but yes, you can fly a lot. What requirements for PR? How much time it will take? If I'm not wrong, to apply for a PR here in Canada, you need to have worked for a certain amount of time. That will give you points. If you studied in here for a set amount of time, that gives you more points. Depending on what score you get on your English tests, you get more points, and all of that will give you better chances of getting the PR. Is your flight school in partnership with any airline? I am not sure if the schools here are partners with the airlines. The airlines won't get you because you went to that school instead of this one. They'll get you if you're capable, if you have the licenses, if you have experience, and if they think they can trust you flying their plane. Do you fly people for discovery flights? The schools can only send people for discovery flights with instructors. I am not an instructor, so I cannot do that as a service. I do take my friends flying sometimes, especially when I was getting hours done and just flying around by myself. I would take my friends with me. It's nicer to have company, and it's really cool to show them around. Any tips for a good landing on a small Cessna? Focus on the end of runway, flare smoothly, touchdown. What should you do after completing 200 hours to gain 1,500 hours? Being an instructor is a good option because you're gonna be paid to fly, and depending on the amount of students you have, you can fly a lot. You can also apply for other jobs, as I said before. How was your first solo? I just got cleared for mine, scheduled for next week. My first solo was really cool. It is just one circuit, very short, but a lot of it, you know, it's really nice to feel. The plane feels different if you're the only one inside. It's lighter, and you're gonna feel that when you're taking off, and it was really nice. I miss that feeling of doing something for the first time. I'm bad with physics, and it's going to be difficult, so I have to take foundations. We don't need a crazy amount of physics knowledge to be a pilot. It is basic things, and we use calculators, we use everything we have to our disposal. You don't need to be doing crazy physics calculations and formulas. If you have an understanding on how things work, especially fluid, you don't need to be an expert in fluids dynamic, but it helps if you have a bit of an idea what's going on around you, you know. Why the salary in first year in Canada is so bad for someone who paid $100,000 to be a real pilot? We all ask this question every day. Are you happy in your school, or do you regret the choice? If I wasn't happy with my school, I would simply walk out and get into the school next door. It is really easy to move schools in Canada. So if you're not happy with your school, you just start with the other school, and then you apply for a change in your visa. It takes no time. So I'm really happy here. I don't regret my choice. I want to become a pilot, but my knowledge is little. Can you help me with it? You came to the right place. The videos are all about that. Make a video on medicals. Yeah, I should make a video on medicals and explaining. I think I did, no? Medical exam. Maybe I did. If I did, I'll link it down in the description and put the thumbnail right here. If not, I'll do one. How hard is finding a job after instructor rating and holding PR? I already said that. How many hours in a month we can work as an instructor? That really depends on how many students you have, what season it is. In summer, we fly much more than we do in winter. That's all gonna play a role, but I would guess, I'm not gonna guess. Do your school have partnership universities? Yes, they do for a bachelor program. I'm not sure which university they're partnering with, but I believe they do. Can we do ground class in our own country before going there so it's easy? Yes, you can, but I don't think you need. If you want, you can download some material or watch some videos about things just so you know what you expect when you're coming. I am actually planning to do a video series on ground school for PPL. It's not an official course approved by anyone, it's just me trying to help. I'm gonna try to start that in a couple months, and I wanna make a video of every single thing we need to learn as private pilots and then as a commercial pilot and multi-IFR. I wanna do the whole thing when I'm an instructor and I'm teaching those things. I'll be putting them into videos to help everyone that's interested. I hope you reply. Yes. How to get single engine pilot jobs after CPL without multi-engine rating? You can be an instructor and you can do that. Or you can do single engine IFR and try to find a job with a single engine plane. How often do you get to fly in winters? More than people think. People think we don't fly at all. There was a November, I flew 20 days. So that's most of the days. What after multi-engine rating? I'm gonna do multi-IFR, which is instrument rating for the multi-engine. Is dating difficult in Canada? I don't know. Which course is better for international students, ATPL or only CPL? None. I think if you just do CPL, it's too little, but you also don't need to aim for ATPL because ATPL is something you're gonna get after a while. So you need to do CPL, maybe multi-IFR, instructor rating, get a job, start working, then you can worry about ATPL later on. You're gonna do the walk around? Yeah, all right. Sorry, they had to move a plane. We're almost done here. Which university suits me? It's a very personal one. Postgraduate work permit can be applied only after completion of program. Yes, you cannot apply for the postgraduate before you graduate. You need to wait it for it to be done. Once you're finished with your program, your school's gonna write it down, everything you've done, to send to the government, then you can apply for it. Bro, what is the procedure of theory? Like what subject, topics, and any test or anything? I'm not 100% sure what this means and what you want to know, but if you want to know everything we need to know, I can send you the study guide, private pilot or commercial pilot. On Transport Canada's website, you can find everything, like a breakdown of everything we should know for the written exams and for the flight tests. Can we manage, let's say, 25-30% of cost on our own after coming to Canada? It is a little difficult to get enough money to pay for your school once you're only working part-time here in Canada. As a part-time worker, you can cover your rent, you can cover food, normal expenses, but I wouldn't count on paying your school working part-time. What program are you planning to get PR through Aviation? I'm in Canada looking for this career. If you do your complete training here, is enough time to get you a couple years of work permit, and with that you can get enough points to apply for a PR. Any good flying school in Namibia for international students? That is a good question. I follow a pilot from Namibia. She posts awesome aviation content. I think she's from there, so she's not an international student over there, but maybe she'd know a good flying school. Maybe I'll ask her and I'll post the answer here. Here, let's ask right now. Okay, I just asked her. I'll post the answer here if I get any. And those are all the questions I got this time. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'll ask you guys more for questions and I'll make more videos like this ones. I hope this was helpful for everyone that asked questions. Right now we're gonna clear this hangar so we can have a barbecue in here. And yeah, I'm really excited to start my instrument rating on this plane. I'm gonna try to record the flights to post in here so you guys can see everything needs to be done for you to get your rating. If you have any questions, just comment here or text me on Instagram, Fly with Pedro, and I'll try to help everyone. If you want to come to Canada to become a pilot as an international student, text me on Instagram and I'll give you all the details you need to know to join any schools here in Canada. I'll try to help however I can, all right? Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a like if this video was helpful for you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.